class we are going to speak about bioethics and responsible leadership. But we will speak mainly about bioethics, and we will try to find the bridges with responsible leadership, because it's not one of the main issues in bioethics. But if we want to speak about bioethics, we need to know a little bit about its beginnings, how bioethics began, and what is bioethics about. So we can speak about like a double birth of bioethics, of the term, of this neologism, which is bioethics. It began in a double way. On one side we have Potter, who wrote a book whose name was Bioethics Bridge to the Future. And in this book he thought that this neologism would be a bridge between science and humanities. And there is another birth, and this was the work of André Hellegers, who created an institution and put this name to the institution, the Joseph and Rose Kennedy Institute for the Study of Human Reproduction and Bioethics. And here he was thinking mainly in the application of ethics to medicine and to research. So we have these two ways of understanding bioethics, which are slightly different. But in a way, they give us an idea of what we're going to talk about in these classes. There is another definition that I always like very much to give, because it gives us an idea of the main topics or the main ideas behind bioethics. And this is a definition that the Encyclopedia of Bioethics provides. This is my version in English, and it says it is the systematic study of human behavior in that it concerns biological science and health care insofar this behavior is analyzed through values and moral principles. And I think this is a very interesting definition, because it gives us the idea of, first, this systematic study, second, the idea of human behavior as being very important, third, which is the scope, which you can see it's biological sciences, but healthcare too. And fourth, and very important, the idea of studying or examining this human conduct or this human behavior through the values and moral principles. And this is where ethics come in all this definition. So what we can see is that the scope of bioethics, it's quite broad. In a way, we can speak about medical ethics, and we will do in the next classes and presentations I will give you. In professions like psychology, psychiatry, that work in the medical field, we have also seen that research is very important. But not only research, we can see that, for example, public health is very important. And finally, we can see that the scope is as broad as considering issues like environmental health or environmental issues. For example, what are the rights of next generations? This is a bioethical question. And also, for example, all what is related to research and animals, or animals and human rights. How are we going to understand them? So we can see that this definition gives us a very broad scope. Normally, the ones that do bioethics, like me, we focus on some of these areas. In my case, we are going to focus mainly in what is medical ethics and the practice that has to do with healthcare, the physician and the patient. We're going to focus also in the broader picture, which is, for example, public health ethics, and we are going to focus on also in research ethics, because research ethics presents lots of challenges that we will deal with responsible leadership. But we are not going to consider, for example, animal rights, or we are not going to consider environmental issues, which are quite broad, bioethical, but not the scope of what we are going to do. So this is, in a nutshell, the presentation of what bioethics is and what we are going to do in the next sessions.